Hey, everybody, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. I hope everything's going well where you are. If you have been in any type of space with me before, whether it be Vision Camp or you're a current client, you know we have a mantra here at Steps and Stages, and it just says that a lot of things happen before this, and I guarantee a lot of things are going to happen after this. But I promise to be here with you now. Please be here with me now. Uh, Today, we just decided to have a conversation with an amazing woman, Elizabeth Chilufya Chilangwa, that I first met in Zambia because I got to be a part of her vision. And when we started talking about what she does in terms of Hitgalut consultations and steps and stages, we started to think about how similar we were and what we actually have a big vision for in the world and in our communities, right? And so my big vision is that everyone I work with finds a level of personal mastery and freedom, right? And when we think about freedom, we know that freedom is not always free, but we also know that freedom is a practice. It's a practice of training the mind to see perspective and to operate in awareness. Now, the larger our awareness becomes, the larger the world becomes, the larger we see our choices. And as we direct those choices, if we have a vision in mind, I was going to use the V word, we have a vision in mind, then our choices are directed towards assuming that vision as our day-to-day life, and that becomes our practice. So we wanted to just check in today about taking personal mastery to the next level. And this could happen in any form of your life. We like to look at life in these big four quadrants. And one is like your health and wellness. That's mental, spiritual, physical, emotional health. The other one is your love and relationships, the people you surround yourself with that allow you to become your highest self. And then there is the vocari, which is not your vocation, not just what you transact money and time between, but the actual gift and calling that you have, the thing that only you can do, the thing you were purposed to do. And then we want to look at the two currencies that we spend the most of, which is time and money. And we want to figure out if our time and money is actually yielding freedom in our lives. So when we think about taking personal mastery to the next level, we first have to master the vision, right? Really get it clear. Doesn't mean we have it all put together. Doesn't mean we know how to make it work. It's not a strategy. It is, what do we see ourselves becoming? Who do we see ourselves becoming? And what impact do we want our gift and talent and vocari to really have in the world? And as I met Chilufya, it was actually an intersection that had seeds in both of our paths. We were actually introduced by a mutual friend, Monique Newton Walker, and she actually had planted a seed in Chilufya about dance, and they had danced together back in the day. And so Chilufya was actually creating the Amaka Arts Festival in Zambia. And it was a transformational experience for me. It was the first time I had ever been to Zambia, but it was also a time where I got to be present in illustrating what the art of dance was like bicontinental, right? In this conversation between two kind of different worlds of dance, right? And for some of you who may not, know my background as a professional dancer, there are ways in which transformation is a part of what I've been doing since I was 9 years old, transforming ideas, imagination into movement, into works of art that people actually can watch and be inspired by. So Chilufya had an amazing vision that included all of the arts in all of their different manifestations, from music to visual art to dance to theater. She got the Ministry of Culture involved. There were historians and everyone you can imagine involved in this particular venture. And I got to be a part of it, right? So another part of this personal mastery is not thinking or not assuming that all of the work is done by you. Right? Your vision has to have good in it for others. And when you're thinking big enough, then the resources that you need can come to you. But oftentimes we get stuck in what we can manage and what we can do. And that actually is not about personal mastery at all. That's about pride, right? Sometimes we think it all has to begin and end with us. And sometimes we get caught up in our own limitations. But really the expansion of a vision has to do with bringing the right people on board. It's not really about how. A lot of times it's who. And if they can bring their skills to bear on the vision, and as long as you've made the vision plain, then other people can be involved. Just in terms of honoring Chilufya a little bit more today before she jumps on, I just want to say that her vision was so transformative in my life in terms of giving me the awareness that what I was doing was not normal. Right? And sometimes we miss our gifts because we think that what we're doing is normal and we think that everyone else can already do it. And so why would we even say that, right? But there is a way that there is something very particular about what you do and how you do it. And that was illuminated for me in this trip to the Amaka Festival. And now thinking about this kind of cooperative economic structure between these two organizations, these two companies, and thinking about how to deeply invest in the personal freedom of the people we love and cherish and serve so that we can continue to create this lifelong creation of transformation. So I want you to feel free to drop any comments that you have in the chat, any questions that you have as this conversation goes on. And we're going to take a little break, and Chilufya will join us in just a second. Hey, y'all, it seems like we're having some technical difficulties, and Chilufya has not been able to log on. You know, so I just want to say thank you for joining us, and we're going to reschedule this. Don't worry, we'll get her back on here. But again, just as we are thinking about this idea of personal mastery, I want to just give you three things to think about as we are going through this afternoon. One is the vision has to be clear. And it doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out, but it does mean that you have to have a big picture. It's not focused on how things get done, but it is focused on what, sending your energy and your outlook and your awareness to the big picture. And then you want to surround yourself with partners in believing, people who can see you higher and not continue to judge you for what you've been doing, but who you are becoming. And number three, You want to take a step every day towards the next stage of development in your life, your vision, and your personal mastery. So unfortunately, the technical difficulties didn't allow Chilufya and I to have a conversation today, but I'm glad I was able to check in with you and for you to understand that your personal mastery is one step away in the right direction of your dream. I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Stay in touch on all the socials at Life Steps and Stages. And if you're ready for your free vision call, go ahead and click over to stepwithchrystal.com. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.